Hello everybody, my name is Artbleed and we are starting a new series today in the game of Banished. This is modded Banished. I am using several mods, one of which is a mod I have the pleasure of being part of the team of, and that is the mod for Colonial Charter. This is Colonial Charter 1.5 and just released about a little over a week ago. A little more than that. So let's get to it. I started a new world here. Got me a nice map seed. Got an island right off the bat. Loving that. I absolutely love islands. So not only did I get one island, I actually got two. And usually when you get a second island, it's a piece of crap. But I actually got a decent island out here in the middle of the lake. Huge lake. I'll show you what it looks like. Got this huge mini map. Can show you I have 4 lakes stuck together, so I've actually got a massive Great Lake here. My delivery river, the river that the the delivery that the merchants come up actually comes through this one lake down here. So we've got a standalone lake out here at the beginning, and then a short jump and you come into my massive lake. Comes up into an oxbow that goes around my island. This is fantastic. Absolutely love it. I even have a little mini river right over here, and I love having creeks. I love having my creeks because I like to put my shore houses on creeks, and there are a couple other things that I like to put on creeks, but I do like to put my shore houses on them. We're going to start on this island. What's fantastic about this is I love to have the center of my town on an island. So I'm going to go ahead and start making bridges to the east and west so I can start setting up other things. This island over here, I'm probably going to put my coal, iron, and stone production, and probably even eventually put my hardwoods out here. And then up here, I'm probably just going to put regular wood. I'm not sure yet. I might put regular wood really close. Planning on doing my hunting gathering up here. I usually don't do hunting because since the 1.5 release, we have a lot of ducks. And the hunters don't bring in as much venison and leather as they used to. So leather is something I usually wait until I get cows on. But I probably will put 2 gatherers up here instead of a hunter. Off to the right of my island, I'm going to go ahead and do all my farming community out here. My livestock is going to be out here. It's going to be fantastic. So this is an absolutely epic start. I'm absolutely in love with this start. I've got this little island here that I'm probably going to put fishermen off of. I may even put my sawmill off of this, maybe my salt works. We've got a lot of shops, a lot of buildings that actually require being on water, so this is absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and get into it. Before I start the game, I want to set up a few basic things. So I do have many bridges to choose from. My favorite bridge to cross the main river is the drawbridge, so I'm going to go ahead and put a drawbridge here on that side. I'm going to put another drawbridge here on this side, maybe a little bit farther up. Probably gonna come from here. I want it close to the people, so yeah, there we go. Put a drawbridge there, and then because I know I'm eventually going to put my hunters, gatherers, and basic wood production up here, I'm going to go ahead and put a drawbridge right there. Now, another good reason for these drawbridges is, if you'll notice, we've got a lot of raw material on the ground. We've got a lot of trees, rocks, even some iron, but the bulk of it is on the mainland over here. And I want these bridges so I can have my people going over to the mainland to collect these raw materials. Most of the raw materials I'm going to use are going to be right here next to where we started. So I'm going to build this drawbridge first. If you're not familiar with Colonial Charter, these drawbridges are not functional. They are not able to add animation into the mod. They just don't have that capability. But they do make a really nice looking drawbridge. And we're going to go ahead and start getting this built. And before I do that, we're going to have to collect some of the supplies that are here. Fortunately, the drawbridge doesn't require any iron, which is awesome because there's very little iron on my island. There's rocks. Stone, and there is also quite a few trees, so let's put down a stockpile here. And I think down here I'm going to get some fishing going. Probably going to put it in this little divot because this kind of sticks out right here, so I'm going to go ahead and put fishing here. Have some kind of fish. We got to have some kind of food coming in. So put that there. They're going to need a little bridge, and for these little creeks, I like to use these adorable little foot bridges. These are just perfect for this. So put that there. There we go. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm going to have them build the food first, and then we'll acquire more raw materials later. So we'll get started with this here. And I'm going to also need a barn. I'm going to use Red Ketchup's barn. Now, generally, I use the small Colonial Charter barn. But because we're so limited on space at the moment, I'm going to take the smallest barn that is available in Red Ketchup's mod, which is the new medieval town mod. And I'm going to plunk it right next to it because I want to be able to put a house additionally on here. I like to have them living near where they work. So I'm going to use these tiny little shacks, and there's room for 2, which is great because I want to have a pair of people eventually working there, and I'd like to have it all on the same road. So, oh, I noticed that my roads are missing. So I'm going to go into my mods right quick and turn on, where are you hiding? There you are, grassy roads. I don't know why it doesn't default turn grassy roads on, but it doesn't. So, give me a second here, and I'm going to turn on my grassy roads. And once I have my grassy roads on, I'll go ahead and use my gravel path. The grassy roads mod is made by Crowlierg, who also helps produce the Colonial Charter mod. But it has a really awesome gravel path in it, and I'll show it to you. It looks like this. Is that not gorgeous or what? Now, I am going to have to flatten some of this land to get to the bridge. And once they build the bridge, I'll know exactly where it is, so I can flatten stuff for it. I'll go ahead and put my really small barn back out here from Red Ketchup. And we're all set to go. I want them to build the homes last, but I want them to build the bridge and then the food first. I want food coming in, then I want a place to put it, then we'll worry about homes. On the mainland, I'm going to go ahead, actually, since it's right here and it's in a nice place, I'm going to put up the sawmill first because it's got such great land. I'm going to have to flatten that, so they're going to be neighbors. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to set up my screens here. I've got the name of my town and all my information. I've got my log. I like to have my log way down here at the bottom. And I've got all my professions here. I see I have 8 laborers, 8 adults. I'm going to go ahead and set 4 of those adults as builders before I even start. I like to put my game speed on 5 because that's a comfortable playing speed for me. And before I get started, I'm going to have them collect stone and iron. They're going to need this. And we're going to collect these trees. And don't worry about cutting down trees on your main island because this stuff will grow back. That was one of my biggest fears. Like, oh my gosh, if I collect all this stuff, it's not going to grow back. It will grow back. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to unpause the game and let them get to it. They're going to start cutting down trees, and they're going to start collecting stone and iron. While I'm doing that, I don't remember where I put this little tiny... Okay, here's the footbridge. So I'm going to go ahead and take my flatten tool, come over here, And just give that a little bit of a flat. Like that. There we go. Our little bridge is coming together. And as soon as they cross this little footbridge, they'll go ahead and pull up all these reeds. There we go. And what's neat about 1.5 is up until 1.5, when they would collect anything that was in the way of something being built, it would just get discarded. Well, now with 1.5, there's a new feature where you can collect wild foods. A side effect of that collecting wild foods is if there's anything in the way of something being built, like food or reeds or food or reeds, mainly foods or herbs, they will collect them. They won't just disappear. They'll actually have them in their inventory and will contribute to the whole. So it's a good way to get reeds. So hopefully, all right, we've got our fishing dock going up. So I'm going to go ahead and let them start building the barn. And I'm actually going to let them start building this drawbridge. And I'm going to send them after more stone that's in these trees. Is there any more? Oh, we're low on logs. So I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, cut down these trees up here. And they're going to get started on those. And eventually, we're going to get everything built. So I have them building kind of too many things at once, and that's okay. Okay, we've got our fishing dock, so let's go ahead and put our fishermen to work. I usually start with 2 fishermen. And they're still gathering more wood. I kind of want them to flatten this out so I can go ahead and put my sawmill here. So I'm going to use my priority tool. I like to spam it. See how they did that? They came and got the reeds, cut the reeds down, and actually laid them on the ground. So those reeds actually get taken. So now that I have flat, I can go ahead and put down... Oh, they're almost done with this. Is my bridge built? My bridge is almost done. This is awesome. Let's go ahead and put a house. And then I think right next to this is going to be the center of town, remember. I'm going to stop for a moment. Let's pause for a moment. This is actually going a lot better than I expected. So, since I've got a lot more stuff done, this is actually pretty uncommon. Most people don't even build a central market until well later in their game. I like to build my central market early. So I'm going to go ahead and plan out where my market's going to be. And you see there's a spot where that cart is. That's the cart they started with. And I want them to move that. So, I'm going to place that there. That's actually going to be where my central market is. And I'm going to, you can't see it, but I'm holding my finger on the screen. And I'm going to mark that with one piece of walkway right there. And now that we have access to more stone and iron and lots of trees, I'm going to tell them to move that storage cart. And start building houses. I think we have some houses going up. Because I want my people to have their market early. So I'm going to let them build their house first. And they're still collecting materials, so I'm going to let them collect their materials. I'd like to get over 200 of every resource. So right now I'm just letting them fish, gather resources. Let's see if my sawmill will fit where I want it. I'm going to rotate the camera so I can see, because I kind of want it. That's not going to work. I want it here. Oh, there we go. Can I pull it out? No, I can't. Alright, so there's my... Alright. That's gonna take 65 stone and 30 iron. Okay, we got a house built. Now we need this built. We need this built before summer. Hey, I can't click on it. Okay, there we go. Alright. So since we have this over here, and we are going to need some more supplies, I'm going to send them for more iron and more stone, because we are going to need that. And more trees, since there are so many trees. So they'll have a constant, fairly regular supply of everything. Now, even though I'm playing in a climate that technically does not see snow or get cold, they're still going to have this item over their heads. And it actually will get cold enough in the winter that they will die off. Because I thought, well, I'm in a marine climate. It's not going to snow. It's not going to rain. And, you know, they're not going to get so cold that they're going to die. And it actually got cold enough and they all died in one of my games. And that sucked. So not going to forget that, which is why I want a sawmill build. Now normally I go with the smaller chopper, but now that the sawmill does not require late game materials, I can go ahead and put a sawmill up. Originally the sawmill required that you had to have building materials, which required you to have the, what is it called? Let me look it up here. Which required you to have the building supplier, which required you to have joists, which required you to have coal, which required you to upgrade your blacksmith to a smithy, which required you to have bricks. And then bricks needed a whole other chain of stuff, so you couldn't just build it. Well, now it's just like it was originally when it was first put in the game. Log, stone, and iron. You can go ahead and build it. So I'm going to give him a stockpile of his own so he can put his stuff there. There you go. I don't need that big. Maybe like that. And we'll put in a roadway there. Awesome. Now once this is built, and this is, oh, I'm waiting on this other, okay. Now we've got a sawmill, so I'm going to go ahead and have them make firewood. I'm just going to have one person working here, but eventually I'm going to have 2 people producing firewood, and then I'm going to have another sawmill over here probably producing lumber. Lumber is used for a little bit more fancier buildings, a little bit more high-end stuff. So, but the main point of the sawmill is I want to go ahead and have large amounts of firewood, so that my houses will stop having this little snowflake over the top. And it is just about winter, so that's what I'm concerned about. Is I don't want them to get into winter. And I noticed, you may notice that only 2 people have a house. 2 people and their children. It's okay as long as you have one house that is supplied with firewood. Everybody will manage to stay warm as long as there's one house. So that's kind of interesting, and that's good because I want to build another group of my houses actually around the central market. So we'll go ahead and get these guys housed, so that the woodcutters and the fishermen, they have a home. They're close to where they work. And then I can start building up over here. And see, the trees are actually already starting to grow back. And remember that tool I was telling you about where you can collect wild foods? If you get low on foods, I can just tell them, okay, come pick this stuff. Pick this stuff. So we got some wild corn growing here. That's kind of neat. With mushrooms. This is ginger right here. We've got all kinds of wild. These are berries. And I think can I use this for reeds? I can't use this for reeds, but I can tell them can I use the trees for reeds? No. But I can tell them to pick reeds. What's weird about reeds is they sit so far away from where they are. So reeds are here, but their hitbox is over here. So reeds here. Where's a hitbox? Yeah, that's weird. Reeds here, hitbox here. Reeds here, hitbox way over there. But anyway, I'm gonna have them collect those reeds. There's still some stone over here. So. Okay, so we have 2 homes. And see this builder managed to squirrel his way in there. And we're making firewood, so I'm gonna go ahead and they're gonna complain, but I'm gonna have them tear that down. I'm gonna say, oh, your tools are low. Fortunately, most of my food's over here. We've got potatoes over here, we've got fish. And they're still bringing stuff from over here, collecting, and there's lots of food. So once they're done with everything, you know, I can do all the food and stuff. Look, they're cold. Guys, quick, come to the house. Come to the house and get warm. Come to the house and get warm. There you go. Yeah. Now, one thing I was wondering when I got this unusual island is where am I going to put my trading post? And I noticed the river is running up to the right and down again. And I may put it right here. I may put more than one trading post. So, we'll see. But right now, they're in the process of moving everything. I'm going to tell them to put a rush job. So. And you see they're collecting these wild foods. They've got them in baskets now, so they're collecting them. No longer going to waste by being destroyed. And anywhere I see wild foods, if it looks like... This is also a really great thing to have if you're suddenly struck with a bunch of people and all of a sudden you're really, really low on food. If you have enough laborers, you can say, hey guys, you know, I know we're low on food, and even if I built a farm, you know, it's the middle of winter, so nobody's going to work it. And if I built another fishing hut, you know, it's going to take time, but you can actually go ahead and grab this tool and highlight all this food, and they'll go out and get it, and it'll go ahead and it'll bump up all the food that you have available. So it's really great for, you know, short-term food shortages. It's not a good way to depend on everything, but it's great for famines, sudden famines. Because there's food everywhere, you know. It's growing everywhere. So, oh, look at that little baby deer. They're by themselves. All right, so our starting cart is gone. I'm gonna go ahead and put down my central market. I'm not gonna build it yet. What I'm gonna do is pause and then build around it. And then the next episode, I should have everything all laid out. And we will go ahead and start our blacksmith and our school and everything. So thanks for joining me in this episode, first episode. Never done an episode of anything before. I appreciate you joining me. And hopefully in the next episode, we will see our little town start to grow, starting with our central market. We're going to have our school built. We'll have our blacksmith, and we'll really start fleshing out this town and then start expanding into the mainlands next to us. Why did I do that? Oops, my mistake. That's not what I was trying to do. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy this series. I'm enjoying making this series, and it's just the first episode, so I will see you in the next episode.